do solemnly affirm.
Well, Portland's newest city commissioner took the oath of office this morning. Jo Ann Hardesty was sworn in today, and it was standing room only. But before today's ceremony, I had a chance to talk with her one-on-one. We met in the Montevilla neighborhood, not far from her house, and went into the Bipartisan Cafe, one of her favorite places to meet and talk. Jo Ann Hardesty is the first African-American woman elected to serve on the Portland City Council. But she isn't dwelling on being a history maker. She's laser-focused on getting to work.
I ran on 4 key issues. I ran on housing and houselessness, good green jobs, the Portland Clean Energy Fund initiative, which, also had an overwhelming win, transportation infrastructure.
Hardesty has the life experiences and political resume to back up her ambitions. She served in the U.S. Navy, served as executive director of Oregon Action, and president of the Portland chapter of the NAACP, and was elected to the Oregon House of Representatives in 1994, serving 6 years.
So I was a flaming liberal from inner Northeast Portland, and I served in a Republican legislative body. I still have very close friends that I served with who were Republicans, because in that environment, if I was going to be successful, it couldn't be about me. So because I didn't care who got the credit, I was able to do some really good work in the legislative body, because at the end of the day, it was about the people that we served in Oregon.
Hardesty lives in an area that is often ignored and neglected.
So here in East Portland, where I live, it's a great example. It's like people just don't know that 102nd is in the city of Portland, right? That you could actually go to 181st and still be in the city of Portland.
Hardesty feels she knows what her constituents need.
I had a lot of meetings here, talking to small business owners, talking to houseless people, talking to people who are scared that they're going to be priced out of their home.
As for her new job as a Portland City Commissioner, Hardesty questions whether Portland needs more police officers, something Mayor Wheeler says is needed.
Don't make a decision based on emotion. Make the decision based on data, right? What keeps a community safe? What we know is what keeps a community safe is that when neighbors know each other, when the small business owners know the houseless people in the community.
Hardesty will now oversee the Portland Fire Bureau and 911 call center, and she thinks she can make a difference in how police respond to calls.
That we have a public safety system, and we spend a lot of resources on the police part, but what about the 911 call center? I want mental health professionals triaging mental health calls. I think the police are the wrong first responders for people suffering from a mental health issue.
Will Hardesty's views cause friction with the mayor and other council members?
I'm still looking for common ground, right? I have no vested interest in making any of my colleagues look bad. But I also ask direct questions, right? I don't do the Pacific Northwest where you talk around a question for 2 hours, right, and never actually ask it.
Jo Ann Hardesty starts the new year with a new job and a new direction she sees for Portland.
What I hope my campaign showed is that regular people who have been consistent over the years can make the case for why we can do things different.
Well, Hardesty replaces Commissioner Dan Saltzman, who served on the council for 20 years, and Saltzman retired on Monday.